Okay.
But writing your own story will remind you of, I wasn't here 10 years ago. This is the life that I was actually praying for 10 years ago. But now I'm here, I'm forgetting. But now I have the reflection because each time I read this book, it takes me back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Real Reading Talk. I am your most gracious host, Miss Seisha. And with Real Reading Talk, I discuss the real systemic issues that are at the very core, the very foundation, as to why we have these low levels of literacy in our Black communities and the ways in which we can combat these issues together as a community, y'all. That's right. And as you know, like I have already told you all before, sometimes I will come on to the podcast and I'm discussing different issues that are related around literacy. And then there are times in which I have a phenomenal guest on my show. And this is one of those times. I have the phenomenal first time author, founder of CoverMeCutee, which is a dope clothing brand, which, by the way, she is going to talk about. And her name is Idayat Sambo. Welcome to the show.
Give it up for Jaya.
Yes. welcome, sis. How are you?
I'm doing good, fantastic, and phenomenal. I cannot complain. I mean, I woke up today. I can sleep, I can walk, I can talk, I can eat, I can use the bathroom. I'm blessed.
Whoa. Come on, see, you coming through with what I love to hear, which is us being grateful for the simple things, right? We tend to a lot of times overlook those things, right? So I love how you brought that home for us. Oh, this y'all, this is about to be a dope conversation, just like I tell everybody.
They already know.
You are okay. This is it's not about an interview, okay? Literally, it's a conversation. It's us getting to know who you are. It's us really diving in and having, those conversations surrounding about your background and your business and book and all of that great stuff. So, with that being said, let's start off. Tell everybody about who you are.
Okay, so my name is Idaya. I mean, I found myself called Idaya, so my mom said.
Okay.
I'm a native of Nigeria. I was born and raised in Nigeria. I did a little bit of my childhood in the UK, in London, Baker Street, in the heart of London. I came back home to get some more knowledge and some more culture. And then a few years ago, like 12 years ago now, me and my family, we won the Visa lottery to come and live in the United States. So ever since then, we've been in the United States. But when I was little, and it's beautiful how when you grow, you can reflect on Allah just already showing you who are you're going to become when you're little, but it makes you very uncomfortable when you're younger. I remember people calling me names when I was younger. I remember they'll call me notice me. I remember they'll tell me I always wanted to be seen. Like I always forcefully wanted to be seen, which was not true. I just was myself and people saw me. I couldn't help it. But it won't make sense when you're younger until when you grow old and you kind of like can be you. And then you're like, oh, this is what people were talking about, And a lot of times it's not even about you, it's about them injecting their insecurities on you. So they see something beautiful about you, but they can't handle it because they don't know they don't have it. So now instead of them to give you your credit and give you your flowers, they're going to talk down so you can numb it down so they can shine. They're looking for a way to shine because in their heart they're feeling you're shining brighter than them and they don't like that feeling. So, but it took me decades to understand this concept. I found myself dumbing down myself and being more quiet and sitting more at the back of rooms and stuff like that when I was growing up. Just try to see if I was really doing what they said I was doing until I decided to set myself free and design my own clothes so I can build my self confidence. I remember when we moved to the United States, I found myself avoiding events. I wouldn't even want to go to a PTO meeting because where I come from, you have to look cute. Like it's not an option. Like it's just a way of life. So when I couldn't achieve that and I wanted to be more modest and I didn't want to necessarily wear my African clothes every day, I just stayed in the house. And so when I got tired of being tired, because I know that my original self is outgoing, I'm a social butterfly. So I also, you know what? Nobody's coming to save you, Idayat. Don't fall into depression, because from anxiety, from sadness every day, from pulling out of who you are, your personality, eventually you're going to be sad. And consistent sadness transforms into depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm gonna find a solution to something I can't find, since I can't find it. So I started Googling like what kind of everyday fabric can I use to make. I only want basic patterns. Like I'm not even asking for a lot. And so and because I have fashion design experience from back home, I started to make all these plain dresses that I can wear a jacket on. I can wear my sneakers. I can make it shorter so I can wear pants under and run around with the kids. And I started gaining my confidence. But I was like, oh, this is feeling good. During the summer, I'll make summer colors. During the winter, I'll make winter colors. So, of course, when you gain your confidence, but what do? You start taking pictures. So I started taking pictures, because that's part of the things when you see people say, I don't like myself in the picture. It's deeper than the picture. It's not about the picture. It's not about the lens. It's way deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started taking pictures and I started posting on social media. And people were like, oh, where'd she get that dress? Where'd you get that tunic? Where'd you get that hijab? And I'm like, oh, I made it. Can you make me one? And that's how Cover Me Cute was built, out of mere frustration of not finding what. That's why I named it Cover Me Cute, because that was the goal, to cover me cute. And that's how we grew the business from 5 years ago now. And we have platforms all over social media, over 70,000 followers all combined together, millions of views monthly. Like, we continue to grow, alhamdulillah, right? But the goal was never to just, my kids will say, Mom, you're famous. I say, I don't like that word. I don't want to be famous. I want to make money. I want to build legacy. And I want to inspire people to be the best versions of themselves, because I know they got them in them. Because I used to be in that position where I used to hide from my truth. So that is that about my clothing brand. It's a modest fashion clothing brand, size inclusive, color inclusive. Because a lot of problems in the modest industry is, even though it's growing rapidly, a lot of companies are still refusing to add plus size. They are still refusing to add pop culture. So you see the blend colors, you see the browns, you see the beige, you see the white. Not every girl wants to be in brown, beige, and white every day. Some of us want to put life into our colors, because that's our character. That's who we are. That's where we come from. That's our tradition. That's our heritage, the colors. Okay. So to me, being the African girl that I am, I'm putting all the colors. I'm wearing yellow, I'm wearing purple, I'm wearing blue. I'll come into a room, people like, oh my God, I love that color, because there's something that colors do to you psychologically that you don't even know, and people around you. So when people started seeing me grow, they were like, oh, Idaya, can you teach me how to make an A-line? Can you teach me how to make a semi-string? I want to start making dresses for myself and for my children. And because people kept on asking, I was like, okay, a lot of my customers are from out of state, because I'm building an online company. Maybe I should create a course and teach and make a video. So when they ask, I'll redirect them to the video. They'll pay money and they'll have access to the video. I thought about this 3.5 years ago. That was like 2.5 years into my business. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. But it's the month of Ramadan. Maybe I should just, I want to record the video, but I'm going to make it a live video. So the people that catch it for free. And that will be my fisabilillah. So I made the live series. I taught how to make A-line. I taught how to make semi-swing, I taught everything, overhead bias. And then I turned around, I downloaded all those live videos, and I created a bundle of videos, and it was still sold for $97.99 as a digital product. And that's how I became a digital product creator. I never knew it wasn't in vogue back in the days. I just knew I created a course and people are paying money. And when people say, can you teach me how to make an A-line? I redirect them to that course. So I'm teaching people from all over the world to make their own garments. They're coming back praying for me. They're coming back starting their own garment business. And I'm still here in Cleveland receiving the money, and they're in Australia, they're in the UK. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is amazing. The power of the internet is amazing. Maybe I should write. And because I do a lot of, if you watch my videos, you see that it's not a lot of buy my stuff. It's a lot of inspirational videos like, okay, I want you to see you in me. I'm a dark skinned girl. I have tribal marks on my face. I
Mm.
have fuller lips that people are paying for now. Back in the day, it used to be they'll be cussing you out for it. Like, see her lips, she's so big. But people are another story for another day. I'm a tall girl. I'm always struggling with finding the right outfit if it's not my outfit.
Mm.
So I want you to see you. I have an African accent. I'm a black girl. There's so many things about me that people think is wrong, but I'm going to show up as myself every day, just so you can see the reflection of you and me, so you can show up for yourself every day. And I know people gravitate toward my motivation. People gravitate toward my stories. They'll come back in the DM. They'll be like, thank you, Idaya. You made me start to wear the hijab. You made me find Islam. You are the one that helped me build my modest closet. It could have been easy. It couldn't have been easy without you. I'm like, okay, so if my videos are doing this good, maybe I should write the story of my life, put
Mm.
it in a book. So the people that are looking up to me and the people that don't know me, because books, they reach a specific, different kind of audience. These are the audiences that really don't use social media. They
Mm.
want to read a book. They use social media maybe because they like CoverMeCutee and they want to buy something. Period. They're out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to dedicate the next 6 months, 15 to 30 minutes every day to write a bit about my story every day. I'm going to take ChatGPT to help me so I don't have to overthink about the English, because when I put it in, it's going to perfect it for me. It's going to narrate it for me. And that's what I did. And then I put everything together. And when it was time to self-publish, of course, I'm going to go to YouTube University. I self-published my book. I also got a course. It was a $97.99 e-course that helped me put everything together, but it didn't have how to publish on Amazon. I figured that out myself. And I used all the apps that I have, all the software that I have to my advantage, and I created my first book. That's how I became an author. And this book is now available on Amazon. I'm still in the unbelieving stage, like, wow, I'm an author now. But yeah, people have been reading the book and they're like, wow, I can't believe you're a first time author. This book was so good, I didn't want to put it down. And
Come on. Come on.
and that's how the journey began. And that's a little bit about my story. I'm a mom of 4 girls. I'm a girl mom. I will always empower women. Maybe that's why Allah gave me moms. I
Mm.
was raised by moms, no dad in my life. Um, my aunties, my moms. Even if you read my book, you'll see that it reflects a lot of powerful women in my life.
Mhm.
That's just how Allah designed my life, perfect for me. And I just want to continue to empower women. Even when I'm no more, I still want people to be empowered through my story. That's why I wrote the book.
Woo! Oh my, I mean, you just, honey, it was like you told your story, gave a master class on entrepreneurship, on inspiration, on confidence, writing a book. I mean, the whole shebang, shalom. Good Lord.
MashaAllah.
I mean, goodness, I ain't trying to end yet, okay? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? We got some digging to do. But Idayat, number one, let me just say this. I'm like one of your fans, okay? So just so you know, of course, definitely, we know each other, from the community here in Cleveland, and we are always, every time we see each other, it's just like you are one of the most coolest, humblest, like helpful, stylish, confident sisters that I have ever met. And I really, truly appreciate you. And it really, to me, what it reminds me of is the things that we are taught, especially for those of us who understand the continent of Africa. And that's what I see in you. When I think of Africa, I think of confidence. I think of surety. I think of I'm still happy in spite of whatever the circumstances are. That's what I think of. And that was something I had to learn because, as we know, Africa was not presented to us in that way at
Mm-mm.
all, right? And so for you to really just go dive into all the different things you talk about in terms of, like you said, you mentioned, of course, the dark skin, the gorgeous dark skin, by the way, that folks who talked about it, who continue to talk about it, whatever, they be begging, they be wanting that skin, all right? We'll
Yes.
sit hours in the sun, tanning salon, with all of that type of stuff, okay? And like you said, the tribal marks, how you just really, you go into these quote unquote insecurities, these quote unquote deficits, if you will. So that right there is where I appreciate you. But what I would like to, I want to go back a little bit, because you told us how you were just raised right by the moms in your family. Can you just give us like a little insight in terms of how your upbringing was in Africa? How was that? Your family life, your culture?
So my setting was a what they call right now a single parents setting, but it really wasn't a single parent, because it takes a village to raise a child in Nigeria. When you the setting that we were, so for every African, there's something we call family house. You cannot, you live rent free. You don't pay electricity. You don't pay. That's your father's house. That's your great grandfather's house. That's your inheritance. That even if you have nowhere else to go, you can stay there forever. So we lived in that setting for a long time when my mom was trying to figure out her finances. So my grandma was there, my aunties were there, my uncles, like everybody is watching you. Like you got a lot of eyes on you, because it's not just her.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she didn't feel all the overwhelm that single moms feel now. She never felt that. As a matter of fact, I'm suffering more than her. And I have a husband. And in her eyes, it's like, wow, I feel bad for you all. Because you have to do all these by yourself. We never had to do that by ourselves. So it's a collection of a lot of people around you taking care of you. If your mom doesn't see you do something, somebody's going to tell on you. They're going to see you. Your auntie's going to be like, which boy are you talking to? If you don't, go home or take you home by myself. Like that will, yes, that's the upbringing. And my mom, being a single parent, she was already, of course, it takes a lot to leave a man that you had 4 children for. Say, you know what, I'm done at the age of 30. Like, I'm done. And it's the only man you know, and you're like, I'm done. She's a very strong, powerful, confident woman. She knows what she wants. She focuses on what she wants. She's a woman of high spirituality. She doesn't play with her God. She's laser focused, and she built that in us to be like, you could do whatever you want. So when somebody says, well, you can't, she's gonna say, says who? Who said that? Because I don't. And when you say, mom, somebody did this bad thing to me, she said, no, she didn't do that bad thing. She did that bad thing to herself. Because you're going to pay for it every single time you say something. And the way she looked at me, she said, she didn't look at you. She looked at herself. Because that wasn't for you, baby. It was for her. Because everything she's doing, she's going to get paid back from her creator. You just continue to do what you're doing. Okay. She will always take your mind off you trying to talk down on yourself, trying to look down on yourself, trying to say you can't do something. She doesn't care. If I say I want to become the president of America today, she doesn't care. She said, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Come on. Because you can. Okay. Maybe it's gonna start with you. I don't care, but you really want to go ahead and go for it. And if you fail, she's not gonna sit in with you and cry with you. You're gonna be like, girl, if you don't get up and try something again, you failed this one, but you didn't fail this one. You didn't fail this one. So that means you can still do it. The fact that you tried means you're confident. You know how many people are trying to fail right now? They can't even start. You will always be that person. Like, you have to wipe your tears. You have to get up and she'll be like, get up, put your makeup on, put a nice dress on, and go hang out with your friends. Do something. Get out of this house. She's not going to let you just be in your and just think and overthink. She's not going to let you do that. It doesn't matter where she is in the world. So she has played a very big impact in upbringing us. And do we still have doubts about it? Every human being has doubts about. She has doubts about herself because she didn't go to school, but she is more learned than somebody that went to school. She is a very, very learned, literally, of course. Very smart. But she still has that doubt sometimes. She'll say, oh, maybe because I didn't go to school. I said, no. The people that went to school are not as smart as you are, mom. But everybody needs that person to remind them of their awesomeness. It doesn't matter how powerful you are, because powerful people have their weaknesses. And that's why we all need that community. And that's what I had, that alhamdulillah reflects my personality today. I had my sisters, I had my brothers, my distant cousin. And that's what we're missing in the modern times today. That's why there are a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, because we don't have that reassurance
Mm.
back, left, and center. Like, you got this. And you go to your cousin and she says, you got this. And you go to your auntie, she says, you got this. You're like, okay, if I don't think I got this at this time, I must be crazy because everybody thinks I got it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
And the overwhelm that comes with I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone, which comes with the Western world, is crazy. So yeah, that was literally my upbringing. You, when they tell you to do stuff, you do. Back in the day, we don't even ask questions like, "Why did you tell me to do this?" No, you
Right.
just go ahead and you do that. Now our children ask questions, which is good, right? We're
Mm.
trying to break generational curses. We're
Right.
trying to give them more voice. We're trying to build their confidence because the world now doesn't want to.
Mm. Mm.
Back in the day, everybody wanted to help you build your confidence, but now it's like, oh, if you're this color, you shouldn't have confidence for some weird reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how my upbringing was.
Mm. And I mean, just absolutely beautiful. And the thoughts that came to my mind. Number one, I'm glad that you talked about in terms of breaking the generational curses within our communities. Like you said, in terms of making sure that we are allowing our children to ask questions. Of course, we're teaching them to do that in a way that's respectful, but
Respect.
they should feel
Yeah.
comfortable with being able to ask questions or to be able to say, well, that's something that doesn't make me feel comfortable, right? You know what I'm saying? Being able to give them voice, that gives them advocacy, right? So I'm glad you spoke about that. But also, one of the keys that I took away from what you said is the community piece. And it makes me think about, this is why I'm always talking about post-traumatic slave syndrome, because one of the things that we deal with as a community, as Black folks, is not having that communal mindset, the individualism. And that came from our oppressors, that came from that mindset of, well, we are able to conquer them when they are divided, when they are thinking that they are alone, they don't have anybody, or you by yourself. Just like you hit the nail on the head, when you think in a way where you're by yourself, you're isolated, then you become depressed, then you start to wallow in your own thoughts. You have nobody there, like you said, your grandma, your aunties, your uncle. I mean, I'm just like, that village, that whole, it to me, it just, again, like how you talked about, it takes a village. You described exactly what that particular saying that we're always quoting, where you hear a lot of folks saying it takes a village. You described it. I didn't even, I just did not visualize that. And especially too, I'm not gonna lie to you. I full disclosure, when I think of my African brothers and sisters, a lot of times I don't think single parent homes. Even though, like you said, it wasn't quote unquote the single parent home that we're used to.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not like that at all. Like you said, you had this communal house, if you will, and then you guys were getting, the help in terms of not having to worry about bills and all of that, certain bills and everything like that, to where it made it easier for your mom to be able to get that assistance. Go
And
ahead.
the reason why it was easier for my mom is my mom had a founder. See, we have a history of powerful women in my family.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
it's very common in African settings. Even though the men are the kings,
mm-hmm.
the women are silently very powerful,
No.
and they run the homes, they run the family houses. Without them, everything is going to crumble. They're the backbones.
Mm,
But they just give the men the voice to speak while they run the things.
mm,
They're literally the dawn behind everything.
mm,
So when my mom was young, her grandma was very rich. She they the new family house is not new, but it was new to them.
mm,
They were the ones, all her grandchildren were the ones that helped her physically build that house. And she used to tell them, I'm building this house because of you. If you get to your husband's house and he doesn't treat you well, don't think you don't have a home. This is why I'm building this home for you. So regardless of where you are in the world, you can come back home if you are not comfortable where you are. Now, this is out of the normal tradition of Africa. In Africa, they'll say your husband home, that's where you're gonna die. Like, we don't care, don't come back home.
mm.
But my family, I don't know why they were so civilized in such a way that they understood the power of um
That's
not having the right partner,
okay.
because a lot of them went through the same thing, because they are very smart. When you are smart, it's hard to deal with people. You can't just take when you can't take trash, it's
Yes,
a problem.
yes, that's a problem. Yep.
So she's like, and she tells them, she's my mom still reminds me of how she tells him, like, you can come back home. Don't let anybody, I'm not allowing you to die in nobody's house. You remember, you have me. And even if I'm no more, that's why I'm building this house. At least nobody can chase you out of this house because
Mm,
I built this house for you all.
mm.
That's why I'm letting you all build it together so you can remember.
Everybody, I hope that you all are enjoying this episode because I am truly getting a lot of gems from Idayat with our conversation that we're having. And her being an author is just such an amazing thing. And speaking of author, guess what? Your girl, that's right, me. I am an author as well. Me and 9 other women have joined forces to become co authors of a book that where we are sharing our stories, where we are talking about the different struggles, the setbacks that we've turned into comebacks, overcoming our fears, dealing with childhood trauma, having all types of, just issues emotionally, psychologically, physically, and even financially. Okay. These are the things that we have talked about in this book. Each of us have our own special, unique stories. We come from different backgrounds, and we've decided we wanted to share our stories because our intention is to help you out there. That's right. In particular, our ladies, yes, our young women to our wise women. However, anybody can benefit from this book. All right. So if that sounds like you in terms of the different things that I mentioned that you're trying to overcome, well, you need to have this book in your hands. Well, right now we have our ebook available on Amazon right now. So just go to Amazon, and the name of our book is H.E.R Healed Empowered Resilient. So when you type in her, it'll be H.E.R. And that stands for, again, Healed Empowered Resilient. So please make sure that you go get your copy because, again, our intention is to continue to share our stories to show that those setbacks that you are going through, you can turn those into comebacks. All right, go back and continue enjoying the show.
Yeah. So my mom would always tell us, if you are not comfortable in your husband's house, please don't kill yourself. Don't go into depression.
Mm,
I'm always here. Even if I'm in a 1 bedroom, you can always come back to me. I'm your mom.
mm,
It was never that. Not even in a religion. You don't have to stay put and let people do no.
indeed.
So I think that made it easy for her to transform when her husband was acting really, really bad. And she was like, you know what? I'm done. I had all the 4 kids that I want. I'm just gonna be. And since then, since 30, she's 70, about to be 73. She has been by herself, hyper focused on her children and on creating a relationship with Allah and living her best life now.
Mm,
Mhm.
whoa. Woo! You didn't said a word. I mean, and this to me, this is an example of this is what the oppressed mindset, not the oppressed mindset, the oppressor's mindset. This is what they always feared. They feared us having this connection. They feared that's like even with the whole enslavement process when they, you know what I'm saying, when everything was said and done, even up to now, we still have this issue. And I'm glad, and you're definitely, of course, you weren't raised like this, but unfortunately, we do have this issue where sometimes our African brothers and sisters, when they do come here to America, and I'm quite sure that you are probably familiar with this.
Mhm.
It's this notion of, well, don't associate with them Black Americans. Do not connect with them. They don't handle their business. All the racist tropes are like kind of force fed in your, you know what I'm saying, in you so that we don't have this connection. And I'm just like, no, man, like right here, you just showing an example of how that mindset from your family, you know what I'm saying? You were not born with that. You were not raised with that mindset of,
Mhm.
lack of connection and not having that, you know what I'm saying, communal mindset. And
Mhm.
again, having that connection with us, because if more of us understood what it is that history that you're talking about in terms of talking about Black folks here in America, this
Mhm.
right here would just help us even more make sure that, okay, we need to be connected to our African brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We got to get rid of this whole negative mindset of, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, look, they over there, that's them, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, man, I mean, you are literally dropping these jewels in terms of getting us to rewire our thinking and how we should be with our families. I mean, the power move in that your mom, you know what I'm saying, was raised with in terms of her mother, like, okay, no, this house is going to be for y'all just in case if anything happened. I mean, wow, that's why I had to have you on the show, because again, we're going to go and shift right into the book, right? Because what really drew me to the book, a lot of what you talked about in terms of the family aspect, you're being supported. How your mother was not playing. She was, when you talked about how you had malaria, you know, it's like,
not today, girl. Not, get if you don't get up, if you don't get,
you're like, oh man,
like the devil is a liar. You are not gonna miss that flight. You are going today.
oh my God. So I want you to do this. Take us to, because you already talked about in the beginning how it took you, what, about 6 months, you said, to write the book, how you were doing the 15 to 30 minutes. So when was it that you actually came up with the idea where you said, you know what, I'm going to write about my life. I'm going to write about my journey from Africa to here in the States?
Okay, so when I kept on seeing people, when, as a content creator, you go back to your analytics. That's why you want to go there. Data is everything about business. The numbers that you don't want to see, that's what's going to help you grow. Each time I go every week into TikTok to see the videos that are doing well, it's always a video of my storyline, one way or the other. Like, people get so drawn into, and they always ask him for more. So I'm thinking, if you're always asking for more, and I'm making a whole 10-minute video and you're staying to the end and the video is going viral and you're still asking for more, I might as well just write a book. So when you ask for more, I'm just going to say, go get the book. Like, I put everything, my heart and soul, into that book. And because I already wrote my first book, which was the grant book that you got, it gave me the confidence. That's why I tell people, you have to start from somewhere. When you start from somewhere, it's going to open more doors. When you have a foundation, it's just the beginning. It's going to open more doors for you. And that's what got me thinking. I was telling my husband, I was like, hey, do you think I should write a story about how we moved to the United States? He's a quiet supporter. He will support. If I say, do you think I could become the senator of the United States? He said, yeah. He said, go ahead, do it. And I said, do you think, he said, I don't think you understand how smart you are, Idayat. You can do this. You can do that. So every night before I go to bed, I'll sit on the bed and he'll be there and I'll write, and then I'll let it audio play it to him. And he'll be like, wow, tell me more. And then it's helping us, taking us back to because this is the thing about human beings. We quickly forget our blessings because we're so hyper focused on our goals.
Okay.
But writing your own story will remind you of, I wasn't here 10 years ago. This is the life that I was actually praying for 10 years ago. But now I'm here, I'm forgetting. But now I have the reflection, because each time I read this book, it takes me back. And when I was saying it, my husband was remembering. And then we were remembering all these scenarios that happened. And I was putting it in the book. And do you remember when? And do you remember when Rabia said? And do you remember when? And do you remember when Auntie said? And that's how we kept on building. And I wrote my chapter 1 and 2, and I set the whole family down. I said, okay, listen to the story. And we listened to the first and second chapter, and children were like, Mommy, where's the third chapter? Because we can't wait.
Come on.
And my daughter that hates reading, she was like, Mom, you know I hate reading books, but I'm going to read this one because this is interesting.
You know our kids don't. You know I don't like to read, Ma. Come on now.
You know these kids are going to come straight. You know, we allow them to express themselves. So they're going to let us know. They're not going to hide in the corner. No. And they're just going to say that, Mom, I'm going to read this book, but you know I hate reading.
Right. Tell her we're going to have to change that language. But that's all right. But
that's all right.
She found the book that she wanted to read. That's what I'm talking about.
I remind you, I say, regardless of what you want to be, you remember you have to read.
Yes.
All the secrets that you want to be successful, it's either in the Quran or it's in the book. And everything you think Allah wrote the Quran for just, if Allah created a book, why won't you create a book?
And the first ayat says what?
Read.
Okay.
That's where the secret to the whole world is.
Come on.
So So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna, because that's how my inspiration usually comes from people, not me. People inspire me, just like I inspire people. That's why I tell people, when you give, you get.
Come on.
It's just human nature. When you open your hand to give, it's open for you to get as well. When you tight fist, you're not giving and you're not getting. So when I share those stories just to inspire people, because I see that the economy is getting worse and a lot of people are struggling. Yeah. The depression is this high. Anxiety is out of the roof. People are living in domestic violent relationship. They can't get out because they don't have a source of income. I'm thinking, okay, let me just say something that might help somebody today. Yeah. And they keep asking for more. And so they are showing me my way while I'm showing them their way. Yeah. Yeah. And that's how the inspiration of writing the book started. Like, okay, I'm just going to write this book.
And I'm just, so you said you went and checked the data, the analytics. You saw the videos that people were watching the most, which was gravitating to your story.
Yep.
Whoa. That, oh man, you definitely, you're helping me out, because again, being an entrepreneur myself, and that's why I sought you out in terms of getting that mentorship. That's why I made the investment first of getting your grant seeking, say the title. I want to get that.
Grant Writing Secret.
Grant Writing Secrets book. And I made that investment because that's an ebook. You said, okay, yeah, this is $97. And you said you also will receive this mentorship for the duration of the time. And I was like, I'm sorry, you can't beat that. I'm like, because
$97.
And then just who you are, right? Like, you are unapologetically, authentically you. And this, people are starving for this. People are starving. That's what I noticed, that people now, they're like really, really starving for that authenticity. They're like, okay, you know what? I'm sick of all of this like fake stuff or whatever. All of this, people want to try to put everything in this perfect box. People, they gravitate to, they want to see you now. They want to see you get out the bed. They want to see you get dressed. I mean, for real.
Your ugly self.
Really, they want to see what you
want to see you. Waking up and being yourself. Just waking up and be yourself, just being human. Because sometimes we take the human out and then perfection, aesthetics. No, girl.
Yes.
My room be upside down. My house be upside. People want to see that, not because they want to see you in your lowest, but they want to see like, oh, you're human too.
Thank you.
For a minute, I thought you were a robot.
For a minute, I thought everything was crisp, clean. You just
perfect and everything. Okay, now I get it. So it's not just me. Now I feel more comfortable with you.
Ooh, oh man. Oh, this book right here. I'm going to tell you the part that stood out to me, which you already talked about. I love the fact how you talked about you and your husband's relationship. And I just want, because first of all, we want people to get the book, right? So I'm not, we're not about to go through every piece of the book, you know what I'm saying? But this particular part stood out to me when you talked about how he was trying to look for work. And, he was struggling with, getting a job and everything, finding a job and everything. And then you talked about how you stepped in and helped him fill out that application. Can you just, just talk about
and that was the application that got him the job.
And I said,
and because we were created for one another.
Come on.
Yes, he's the leader. Yes, he's the provider. Yes. But if he can't find a job to provide, sis, how is he going to provide for me? And we just had a newborn baby that time. So I'll be the one taking care of, trying to pet the baby. He'll also do that as well. But we're from Africa. We are not computer literates. We were not computer literates when we got here. In the high schools that we went to, we only had one computer. Now imagine one computer in the whole school. How many times you go use that computer before you graduate?
Right.
Never. Because the teachers too are going to want to use it because they don't have it at home either.
Right.
So coming here, I don't think people understand the struggle that immigrants go through. That's why I want this book to be in every university, every high school, every college, because it's a big shift.
Mm-hmm.
from one reality to the other. Now, all of it back home, you do everything by paper, sign it and come in and do it. And now all of a sudden you have to do everything online. Like, make it make sense.
Mm.
How? I don't even know. I don't even know how to copy and paste.
Boy,
Like, people say, oh, it's easy, just copy it. Girl,
right.
I didn't know how to copy and paste.
I didn't
What's
learn
that?
it. Okay, just be
Point?
patient. Like, what?
So it was like a really hard struggle. And if you know the nature of human, we women are we tend to learn things faster than men.
Mm-hmm.
Men tend to retain it longer, but we tend to learn faster.
Mm.
But because I was learning faster than him, it took him a whole long time to fill out these applications, because now he has to look for the buttons, and
Okay.
he was there all night for 3 days straight. He won't sleep. He's like, I'm not sleeping because I need to provide for you. I'm tired of living in somebody else's house, in your cousin's house. I want us to move out. I want to be the dad, the husband. I'm like, you will be, their ego gets to them too. Right. So I'm like, you know what? I think, and his eyes were red because he was too much on the computer. I was like, you know what? The baby is asleep. Go lie down with the baby. Let me help you fill this out. Because I can.
Right.
Because we're supposed to be their support system. That support, that people will see them as a big man outside, but you know what you're doing inside, and you're happy with that. And that's what we're the neck. They're the head, but we're the neck that moves the head around.
Yep. Been told that. Yes,
people forget about the head because the face, pretty face. We forget that the neck is doing a lot of work. There's a lot of weight on the neck.
Okay. Exactly.
So yes, I do it, and I still do it. Right now, my husband is going through real estate school, so that he can become a real estate agent. And I'm also working with him for his social media, because I said that's where your customers are going to come from. Yeah. I'm teaching him step by step how to post, what to post, how to check your analytics and everything. And I give him assignments and everything. And it's a good thing, because not all men are humble enough to learn from their wives. Some are like, who you gonna teach? What you mean? But he's not, alhamdulillah, he's not like that. So we help each other out. And where I fall short, and I think maybe I'm like the times when I didn't get the grant and my children were crying, and all these applications and all these competitions, I didn't make it to the top. He's like, they don't understand you yet. You got this. Just keep on going. Like, they're missing out. You're not the one that missed out. They're missing out on you. And the moment they realize, you just wait and see. And that's usually how it is. And that's the thing we need. We need that community, that support, that will remind us of our better self when we are down, because we're always going to be up. Life is a roller coaster. You're going to go up, down, up, down. But who's going to catch you when you're coming down? Who's going to push you when you're going back up? Because we all need that catch, and we all need that push.
Y'all, oh my goodness. I can literally just talk to you for hours, because just, again, your energy, you just bring this certain level of surety, confidence, the liveliness, the girl, what you down for? Like, you ain't about to let nobody around you. I'm talking about, no,
my daughter won her first pitch when she was 15.
What?
Yes, she makes doll clothes out of my scrap fabric.
Oh yeah, I seen the little dog. Okay, she got that from from a
yep. And there was this opportunity in their high school, because because they know there's money in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And they know they want these kids to become entrepreneurs, because then they're going to hire and reduce the unemployment rate and make the country better. The country depends 92% on small businesses. So she saw this poll. They sent it to all of them. They were like, okay, if you want to become an entrepreneur and you have a business idea, pitch it to us. It was Case Western, and we'll give you $1,000. This is funny. Before I started winning pitches, she won the first pitch with my knowledge. And I was like, okay, let's do this application together. And I, step by step, I taught her and everything. And the next thing they were like, oh, you are the one that won. How are you going to get it? Send your mom's contact so we can send the 1,000 into your bank account. I was like, well, hold on, what's happening over here? And you know what, Sister Sasha? A year after, you know what they did? They called back on her. Like, do you need more money to finance your business? Does it still exist? Okay, show us your social media page. Show us your website. She got everything to them. They gave her another 1,000.
See, you know what? Tell
I'm just saying, I just putting it out here in the world, just in case you needed that inspiration. Like, don't, it's about to be summer. Don't let these kids just waste their lives on these gadgets. These gadgets are meant for us to make money. And
yes.
you can start helping them build their future now because nobody knows tomorrow. I might not be here tomorrow to tell you this, but you'll let that daughter and that son, let them create that coloring book that they can sell on Amazon. It's autopilot. It's a one time and done. Let them start creating that. It's even going to help them heal if they start writing their story.
Yeah.
My kids are usually the only hijab child in the classroom, in their summer program, in their sports program. Let them start writing so other children can get that book and see their representation.
Yes.
And from there, you never know where they could get scholarships from that opportunity. They could get speaking engagement from that. Okay, come to talk to other children, or we just want to give you $5,000 for doing this because this is life changing. You would never know who is watching, and people watch silently until it hits home for them, and they're like, "Hey, I need you," and it will be that one video. That's why I tell people post consistently because it will be that one video that you took lightly, like, oh, I just said what was on my mind.
Yeah.
And it will give you that grandiose and it will take you to that next level in you and it will completely change your life. There was this video that just came out now. We do not care. Now we have a we do not care community, it's called. So this woman was going through menopause. Everything that you can feel through premenopause, she was going through. And she was and she took her phone. She was in a parking lot. She took her phone and she had her glasses on and she had another glasses on her head because both glasses do different stuff. We already know how that go. Like, okay, I want to tell you, as a lady in her 40 something that is going through menopause right now, I want to tell you what we do not care about. And she listed everything. She told the children, like, we do not care if you do not want to go to your next train. You are going because we pay for that. Like, she listed it in 20 minutes. That video went viral. And people are telling them we need a merch that says we do not care. We need everything. We need a community. We need you to build a paid community to support us, especially people that look like us. That we can show up anyhow we want to on any day because sometimes we are having bad days and we can't put ourselves together. And it's okay because we do not care.
Come on. Come on.
I'm telling you, people just want to see that originality. And she said she got home that day after 20 minutes and she was looking at her phone with million views and millions every day and millions adding up. And she was looking like, what you mean?
Good Lord. Good Lord.
I'm just saying.
Oh no. Yeah, you just saying all right. And I hope and pray that folks who are listening, like I always remind my people, make sure that you have your notebooks, your pens, so you can get these gems. You know you can press rewind if you miss something because of the fact the gems are being dropped. You are absolutely given a master class, like I said before, on confidence, entrepreneurship, writing a book, how to have a community mindset, how to make sure that you are connecting with your family, not giving up, all of that type of stuff. Oh my goodness, Idayat. This has been an absolutely phenomenal conversation. I really, really appreciate you. What I wanted you to do, I'm just 3 last questions. They're very, very quick. The first one is, can you let everybody know with your brand, CoverMeCutee, is it just for Muslim women? Because I know a lot of women. Okay, so if you can.
And I get that question a lot. People are like, oh my God, I love this maxi dress, but I don't want to disrespect your religion. Girl, you are not.
No. Please.
If you're doing anything, you're promoting modesty, which is the goal, that you do not have to open up your body parts to be beautiful. As a matter of fact, when you cover them up, you are forcing people to focus on what is coming out of your mouth and not necessarily what your body looks like. Because people are hyper focused and obsessed over the body right now,
Mhm.
this day and age. We
Mhm.
have to tone that down some. So
Mhm.
if you feel like you see that Aisha hoodie dress, or you see that A-line, and you want to wear it to your next night visual, or you wanted to wear it to your next, you see that skirt, maxi skirt, and you want to wear it to your next conference, girl, if you don't hurry and go to covermecute.com and grab it and tag me in the video of you in church, I
Come
don't know
on.
what else to tell you.
Let's go.
I
Mm.
don't know what else to tell you.
Hey, well, you look, they heard it from you, the owner, okay? They heard it from you. Next question. What book have you read that inspired you? And is there a book that you have that you are currently reading now?
So the
Mhm.
book that I'm currently reading right now is
Mhm.
called How to Make Friends and Influence People.
Oh, that's Dale Carnegie, right? If I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Yes, yes.
And
Okay.
I'm reading that book because I want to pass it on to my children that have a difficulty making friends. So I want to see what's actually in that book so I can recommend it to them. But the book that has inspired me the most, it took me maybe 2 or 3 days to read while we were on travel. Um, because I'm the passenger princess when my husband is when we're traveling.
Okay.
It's Becoming, and it inspired me to write this book. It's Becoming by Michelle Obama.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
why my book is Becoming Home.
Oh, see? Oh, wow.
Even my kids know when Michelle comes they're like, Mom, that's your mentor right there. Yes, that's my mentor. That doesn't even make you mentor of me. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. You are simply an amazing, amazing, phenomenal woman. Oh, I truly, truly admire you. I appreciate you
Thank you.
tremendously. Can you tell everybody where they can get your book? Also, where they can follow you on all the social media platforms, as well as your website for Cover Me Cute as well.
So if you want to get the book Becoming Home by Idayat Sambo, it's on Amazon. Your Amazon, you can use your Prime to get free shipping. It'll get to you in like maybe 2 3 days. It's really quick.
Yes, it
You
is.
can, yeah, it's really quick. You can get it off of Amazon.
Yep.
Um, you can also, if you want to get my clothing, you can go to covermecute.com, or you can just put in Cover Me Cute on Google and it'll give you all the information. It'll give me my social media. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. If you want to grow your business, you should focus on my YouTube page. Idayat Sambo on YouTube. If you want to get business funding, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to search, you want to follow me on YouTube, you want to subscribe so you can stay updated. But if you need anything inspiration, and you just, lifestyle, maybe you want to make more money, or you want to be more cute, or you just need that inspirational quote for the day, you need to be following me on TikTok. And my name is Cover Me Cute everywhere. And Idayat Sambo on YouTube.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. And with the Cover Me Cute, can you tell everybody with the spelling? Because I know something, because you said,
It's Cover Me Cutie. So it has an extra E at the end. And we just got our trademark for that name last two
nice.
weeks. Yeah. Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Oh, wow. I love
We
it.
have to add the little TM thing now.
Yes, you do. Okay. Hello, hello. That's what I'm talking about. See, y'all, the gems, the knowledge, the jewels, all of that. This is what Real Reading Talk is about. And again, I want to thank you once again for gracing your presence here on Real Reading Talk, because you've just added so much value to everybody's lives. Those who are listening, those who understand that, I'm just going to say right here, may Allah, God, bless you with the best in this life and the best in the hereafter.
I
Thank you
mean,
so much, sis.
and I also want to thank you, Sister Sasha, for inviting me to come and speak to our audience today. And I also want to thank you for what you do in our community. We all know that there is power in reading. That's why we have the Quran. That's why we have the Bible. That's why we have the Torah. There's a reason for everything, right? And the reason is for us to read, because the secrets of life are in books. And if you're the kind of person like saying like, oh my God, I'm not a good reader, I can read. Depending on your why, what's your why? Whatever your why is, that's why you need to pick up that book and start reading. And life is so easy now. You can do audio books. too on Amazon. So if you can't physically necessarily read it, you're cooking, you're listening to, instead of you listening to that music that does nothing for you, how about you start listening to your audiobooks and you're taking notes? I'm telling you, reading is freedom. I need everybody to go and support. I need you all to go donate. If you are watching this video right now, I need you all to comment the word reading, because reading is truly, truly freedom. And what we're trying to do to our community and inshallah worldwide is to encourage these children, because the more we create all these TikToks, the less they want to read. But this is a system that is not broke, so we don't need to fix it. Reading what, see, our videos are gonna go away, right? It could be blocks. They could say we violated some rule. It happens all the time. The book is always going to be there, right? We have knowledge from decades, 100 years ago, thousands of years ago from the Quran that are in the book. Only the book can withstand that. We need to keep the tradition. And why do the people that don't look like us, why are they ahead? Because they read. That's why we're getting far ahead right now, because we're reading. And when I say reading, that doesn't necessarily mean you're enrolling to a new college and getting a new program. Start reading by yourself. Look at the people that inspire you and read their story life, read their bibliography, read their what do they call it?
The memoirs.
Yeah, memoirs. Read about them so you understand, so you can see life the way they see life. It's like when you read people's book, is like they created a path and now you're walking that path. It's going to make it easier, faster, and smoother for you. Now when you see stuff that used to confuse you, you're going to be like, oh, now I understand. I'm not confused anymore. Yeah, I'm not confused anymore, because now I understand absolutely what you're trying to do. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to Sister Sasha, creating Reading is Freedom. I want you all to go support her. If you're watching this video, if you haven't commented, reading, what is you doing? Okay, comment the word reading, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to grow the brand, not only nationally but also internationally. I pray that everything that you lay your hands on will be blessed, inshallah bi qudratillah. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a nice time today.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Woo! You got me emotional over here. Okay. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. All right, you all. Thank you all again for listening. And remember that to subscribe again to the YouTube channel, Reading is Freedom. And remember, with Real Reading Talk, this is the place in which we discuss the real systemic issues at the very core, the very foundation, as to why we have these low levels of literacy in the Black community and the ways in which we can combat these issues together, y'all. Thank you all again. And remember to please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Reading is freedom.
Reading is freedom. I hope you all have a good day. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
All right, you guys. Once again, like I told y'all, I make sure that I am bringing it for y'all, okay? Because that was the intent behind creating Real Reading Talk, all right? I wanted us to be empowered as a community, because we are going to help eradicate these high levels of illiteracy that have been plaguing our Black communities for decades. And some housekeeping. Once again, I am a pre-K through fourth grade reading tutor, and the name of my reading tutoring business is ABC Learn Tutoring. And you can go to my website, abclearntutoring.com, click on the free reading assessment to get your child the necessary support, the necessary resources that they need so they can become successful readers. It starts in those foundational years. So that's why I focus on that pre-K through fourth grade. All right. Sign your babies up today. Do not wait. Also, I am the founder and executive director of ABC Read, which is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to develop and nurture a culture of literacy in Black and underserved communities. We've been doing this over 10 years, y'all. Okay. And we appreciate all of the support. We are always looking for donations so that we can continue our 501c3 doing what it do, which is serving the people, all right, our Black and underserved communities here in the city of Cleveland. All right, so please go check out the website, abcread.org. And I also have a YouTube channel, which you all see. Usually a lot of my viewers watch the podcast on there. Reading is Freedom. All right, make sure that you go and subscribe. Make sure that you like, comment, and share. All right. And as you all see over my right shoulder, That is one of the merch that I sell. And also I got the shirt on as well. Read, read, read. Okay. Go to readingisfreedomshop.com. All right. Grab your merch, because again, this is a clarion call. This is about us speaking loudly about how the benefits of us making sure that we are talking about the necessity of reading. All right. And I just want to share with you all again a book that I've been reading, which is The Battle for the Black Mind, written by Dr. Karita Brown. Make sure that you guys go check that book out as well. And then I'm just going to end with just letting you all know, I'm just going to keep it in line with how she dropped the mic. And she said, y'all, reading is freedom. All right. And so you all remember that. All right. Our literacy is linked to our liberation. That's why I got Frederick Douglass right there. You know what I'm saying? He is the reason why I started Reading is Freedom. Okay. All right, y'all. So thank you all again for listening. And remember to keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Take care. Peace.